everyone, so welcome to the first tutorial for this year, the first makeup tutorial, and it's not really inspired by anything, it's just me using some of the new products that I showed you in my Shiv stash video there on Monday. So you'll see what I'm using throughout the video, and I'm also using some of my new Real Techniques bold, what are they called? Bold Metal Collection brushes. The review for this will have went up on Wednesday, so you'll see that if you just want to check the link below. And in the meantime, just keep watching. So there will be a full list of products below and on the blog as per usual. This spot refused to stay covered because it is in the most awkward place, but yeah, I couldn't really do anything about that. And I'm trying to be a bit more girly. No, not girly, because I can't be girly enough as it is. Well, yeah, no, I think I tend to do more dramatic looks, but like wearing like soft pink lips and stuff like that, which is something I normally don't do. I want to try and use colours that I don't normally go for going forward, so like stepping out of my comfort zone a little bit. So you might see some kind of colours and looks out of me that I wouldn't normally do. Just again, me trying to push, what's the word I'm looking for? Push the envelope a bit, is that right? But anyhow, hope you enjoy it guys, and I'll see you in my next video. So starting off with one of the new Real Techniques brushes, and this is number 101, the kind of triangle foundation brush. I use this to apply a hydrating primer all over my face, and this is MAC's Natural Radiance Primer. And then using the same brush, I moved on to Perfection Lumiere by Chanel and applied this all over the face. So you basically use the flat end of the brush to work on the bigger areas like your cheeks and your forehead, and then you use the other side, which is more tapered, around the nose and the eyes. Then using a correcting concealer, this one is by NYX, it's their HD concealer in the light yellow colour. I applied this under the eyes where I get very purple, and around the eyes and anywhere else on the face that's a little bit red, and then used my fingers just to blot this in. Then for coverage, I moved on to the amazing concealer in the fair colour, and I just dotted this around the face where I do need a little bit more coverage. And I also use this as my eye primer because it is a little bit tacky and it does work quite well as long as you don't have very, very oily lids. And this is really lovely underneath the eyes as well because it'll cover really, really well without going very cakey or, you know, going into the lines very much. But you do need to warm this up with your fingers. So you definitely need your fingers to pat this in. And then kind of as an experiment, I decided to see if it would work as a lip erase on the lips because the first two ingredients are basically the same as like Vaseline, so I wanted to see how this would sit on the lips. Next, I applied some of my face powder to my brow bone as a matte highlight using the number 200 Real Techniques brush, which is quite a large but a lovely eyeshadow brush, and then using this gorgeous Body Sparkle, which is a really fine dust by Inglot, number 68. I pressed this over my lid, and this sticks fairly well to the amazing concealer which I had applied already, so I didn't need any separate kind of base. Next, moving on to another Inglot product. This is a beautiful copper eyeshadow. I applied this to the outer corner of my eye and then worked it along the crease, and then applied a slightly more golden colour to the inner corner or that inner kind of triangle area just to add a little bit more interest. And then I softened this out and blended it out a little bit using a slightly pinky toned iridescent highlight colour. Then to avoid accentuating any lines underneath my eyes, I kept it matte underneath the lower lash line, but I applied this gorgeous, quite strong orange colour, again by Inglot, and any colours that I use that I don't name throughout the video will all be listed below along with everything else that I've used. And I also applied this above my crease to help blend out that kind of coppery colour, and I did extend this out from the outer corner to create a little bit of a wing shape. Then to soften the edges and to make sure there were no harsh lines, I went around the outside of the orange with a very soft peach, and then applied some black Kohl pencil to my waterlines and tight lined my upper waterlines as well. Then using a teeny tiny angled brush, I use this to press some matte black eyeshadow right up against the lower lash line. This is to add definition of course, but also to act as a bit of a transition between your waterline and your lower lash line. And I softened this out using that same blending brush. I extended the black out in this very, very slight wing shape, but a very straight wing shape. I didn't angle it up at all, and I only lined the very, very top half or even outer third of my upper lash line. I didn't want it to be very, very heavily defined or heavily lined. Next, I applied some mascara to my lashes, and this one is by Fuschia, but it was absolutely shite, so I did go over with my Max Factor 2000 Calorie mascara off camera, and I set my base in place as well using MAC's Mineralize SkinFinish Natural in Light. What I do love from Fuschia though is this brow powder. It's their Brow Splits, I think it's called, in the colour Taupe, which has enough warmth in it to actually suit my hair colour. And I applied this again using a really small angled brush throughout my eyebrows. Then to apply my contour colour by Inglot, and that's the number 505 sculpting powder by Inglot, which is gorgeous pale sculpting powder. I used the 301 brush by Real Techniques, which is that flat contour brush. It's a really, really cool shape. A little bit more dense than what I'm used to, but definitely something I can work with. And I also applied a little bit of the same contouring powder just to the end of my nose. I used my favourite of the Real Techniques brushes, number 300, the tapered blush brush, to apply this gorgeous fusion blush and highlight by Inglot to the cheeks, and I also applied then the highlight to the top of my cheekbones once that was in place. And then to finish off, I applied this gorgeous light pink lip liner onto my lips, first filling in the center of the lips and then slowing down to do the outline, and finish this off with NYX Butter Gloss in Meringue just to give that gorgeous girly pink finish. And then after messing around with my hair for a few minutes, here's the finished look. So I really hope you like this, guys. My first makeup tutorial of 2015, but there'll be plenty more to come. And if you have any requests as well for future tutorials, make sure you leave them below, or for videos in general. I'm always open to your suggestions, guys. So to finish off, as usual, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate everyone who stuck with me throughout the last few years. If you're interested in seeing my last video, make sure you click the link in the video there above, and I'll just see you all in my next video, so make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Slán, guys.